Hi everyone! Welcome to Souped Up Recipes. Today we're having another rice cooker hack recipe, cornbread. It's so good. Creamy on the top, crusty on the bottom. I know I mainly share Chinese recipes, but I cook cornbread all the time. This oven here is so bad. I can never get the temperature right because every time I use it, it's different. I can barely cook anything with it. That is how this recipe was born. It's super easy. There's no way you can mess this up. So let's get started. Cut a piece of butter, put it over some warm water, and use a low flame to heat the water. It will melt slowly. Cut another small bit of butter and add it to the rice cooker. We're going to use that to grease the pot. It will get soft while we're preparing other ingredients. In a large mixing bowl, adding 1 cup of cornmeal, 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup to 1 cup of sugar, depending on your taste. I know that looks like a lot of sugar. This is not a diet recipe. This is a recipe that makes you feel good. Mix them until everything is well combined. I eat cornbread a lot. Sometimes I will double or triple the dry ingredients, only cook one part of it and save the rest as my secret cornbread mix. Next time you want cornbread, you only need to make the wet ingredient. In another bowl, cracking 1 egg and 1/2 cup of milk. If you can find buttermilk, that will be even better. Not only it brings a fermented character to the recipe, but also the baking soda will react better with the acid that is in the buttermilk. I couldn't get buttermilk in my city. Regular milk works good too. I'm living in a high altitude city, about 8,000 feet. In my experience, I will need to add a little more milk to this recipe, about 1 tablespoon. If you live anywhere under 4,000 feet, you don't need to worry about it. It's just nice knowledge to share. Keep adding 3.5 tablespoons of vegetable oil and 1/4 cup of melted butter. Last, 1.5 tablespoons of honey. It is best to use liquid honey. I guess it is because the weather here is quite cold, so my honey is too thick. I should have melted it with the butter together. Whatever, now I really need to mix this well to dissolve the honey. You don't want to see any honey chunks in there. It took a while to do that. Dump in all the dry ingredients into the wet ingredient. Mix it well. You will get a really thick but quite smooth batter. If your batter is too wet, you can add a little more cornmeal. If it's too dry, you can add a little more milk because every ingredient suppliers are different. You should adjust it based on your situation. Now the little piece of butter should be soft. Get a brush and spread it everywhere on the bottom. Make sure you get the sides as well. Be generous with the butter amount because that is what creates the crust. My rice cooker is non-stick. If yours are not, you need to cut up a round piece of parchment paper to put on the bottom. If not, it will be a huge mess when you try to take out the cornbread. Pour the batter straight into the rice cooker. A rubber spatula will help you clean the bowl easily. Tap it few times to shake out the big bubbles. Rice cooker pot is metal material. You might want to place a silicone mat under it so you don't ruin the pot. Put the pot in, cover it. I'm using the simplest rice cooker to make this. It only has 2 settings. Press down the button, let it cook. In about 3 or 4 minutes, the button will pop back up. You just let it sit in the warm setting for at least 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, press the button again. In about 3 minutes, the bottom will pop back to the warm setting. Let it sit for another 20 minutes and your cornbread is done. But I like to press the button down again to get the crusty bottom. It will take another few minutes for it to come back to the warm setting. I did this once, but you might need to do it twice to get the crust. Depends on different brands of rice cooker. Even though I know it is completely cooked, just to show you how to test it. Stick the skewer in. If it comes out clean, that means you're good to go. Take out the pot and let it cool down. 15 minutes later, you can see the edge of the cornbread is separated from the side of the pot. If you shake it, you can see that it is completely released. I'm going to flip it over so you can see how the bottom looks. The cornbread is very moist and soft. Use a parchment paper so it doesn't stick to the plate. The bottom is a little brown. That is how you know it is homemade. Trust me, that is not burned. It is actually the best part because I just love the slight crust. Cut it into the size you like. I always snack those trimmed off edges secretly before serving. Let me open one. You can tell how soft it is. Let's give it a try. Ooh. There's actually lots of textures going on. The top is very soft, moist, creamy. The middle is a bit fluffy, and the bottom, oh, it's crusty. So good. Honestly, this is better than most bakeries' cornbread that I had. It's so easy to make, no oven needed. With the method that I showed you, your cornbread will come out perfect every time. I hope you give this a try soon. If you did, leave me a comment, let me know how it goes. As always, the recipe will be in the description down below the video. You can go check that out. If you want to watch my other rice cooker hack videos, I list the links in the description as well. You can go check them out so you don't miss other awesome recipes. Don't forget to take a look of my channel. I'm sure you will find out how to cook your favorite Chinese food. New videos come out every Monday and Wednesday. And I'll see you next time. Bye!